And I'm going to show you guys how you turn something that's really badly lit like this and turn it something into like, looking along the lines, something more like this. Stay tuned. So in this video, I'm going to teach you guys everything I know about lighting, whether more likely if you're a complete beginner, because this video is not for those, oh, I need to know what the Kelvin is of a really advanced lighting setup. I myself, I'm a one person, one man, one woman show, and this is for all you guys that do it all by yourselves and you have no idea how you shoot or light your videos. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you guys the complete dummies guide on how I learned lighting and how you can do, and all at the comfort of your own home. So when it comes to having a well-lit video and you're a professional videographer and you're trying to play it off like, how the hell do I even do lighting? Well, you don't need to know the basics of like, what's three-point lighting. If you want to know all that, yes, it's cool, but the reality is, if you're a one-man or one-woman show and you're trying to set up lights and you want to do your traditional three-point lighting, this video is not for you. This, I'm going to tell you straight to the point of how I like to light my videos and how a total beginner can do it, even if you have no experience when it comes to lighting. And all you really need to know is the key light. The key light is the main light that's going to be shining onto your subject or yourself, and you want to have a little bit of depth. The whole point of having a traditional three-point lighting is you have something called your subject light, your fill light, your hair light, and all that fancy stuff, but we ain't got time for that. So the basics of lighting is you don't want something that's backlit, because everything, yes, if I crank down my my shutter speed and I just have something that's backlit, you can do cool things like silhouettes. If this was like a neon type of lighting, and you can, if it's a cool music video. But besides having silhouettes, backlighting is not that great when it comes for interview videos and as well as talking head videos. And all you want to do, there's two types of schools. You can either have the key light, which is the main light. Any sort of light works, whether that's your window, a softbox light, or some type of LED light. You don't need no fancy $2,000 Godox light that photographers use. And that's just from my own opinion and from my own experience when it comes to interview videos. These are my two interview videos that I've done here for my past clients in the very beginning, and guess what? Natural lighting and no use of any sort of softbox, and for this video there is a reflector. So when it comes to lighting, like I said, two schools of thought. You want the main light pointing right down, straight at you, and some people prefer this. And there are things like sandwich lights, so you have two lights here shining right on you, but when you do sandwich lighting or full-on straight to the face lighting, is that it kind of blows out all of the contrast that's already in your video. And for me, I like to say I'm a dark, mysterious person. So what I like to do is I hike up my softbox, point it at an angle so it's not straight on, and instead of filming here, where it kind of loses my own dimension of my face and my shape, I like to shoot it where the softbox is literally right here, pointing down at me. So as you can see here, there's a bit of shadow here, but still my face is still fairly lit. And when it comes to like beauty videos or females or Model S type of videos, if you know what I'm saying, is like when it comes to those, you need well lit type of subjects as well as lighting, because when it comes to having 3D, this is my own personal preference, but you have to be aware of things where you don't want shadows, where you do want that sandwich lighting. Then you want to make sure that your subjects look young, because the whole point of this, yes, it creates depth, but it also makes your subjects look older, and you can see more things like their wrinkles or any sort of creasing in their face. That is where you want the full-blown lighting, straight to the face. And that's how you get the basics of lighting. And all you need is one light, one key light, which is the main light that's you're gonna be using to film your videos. And that's all you really need. And when it comes to being a one-man army, one-woman army, you don't need to carry around 3 lights around to film an interview. Essentially, all you need is a softbox light. Your fill light can be essentially the windows that let the light in. So you have your subject sit in front and let the windows fill in and use that as your fill light. And all you really need to do is just set up one light in the corner, make sure it's pointing straight down into your subject. And that's how I do your basic lighting. Because when you're busy filming and making sure your subject's in focus, the last thing you want to do is take an hour to 2 hours setting up 3 lights to film whatever video you're trying to film, whether that's a testimonial or interview video. And you want to know a really big secret when it comes to my super budgeting or lighting for dummies is that I didn't use any lighting. When it came to my first interview video, I just used the ceiling light, and that's what I got away with because I used what I had, not what I don't have. And I always made it work. That was my go-to. And when it comes to lighting, you can learn and read as much as you want, but if you don't actually go into the scene and start to shoot and understand how lights work, then you're not going to actually understand it. So all you need to do is invest in a light kit if you so desire, and you set up, you play around, you understand that if the light is shooting straight at me, it's going to create more of like a flat subject, so there's no shadows, and as well as the darkness without this. And the background creates a little bit of contrast, and if you want more contrast, you aim it at an angle, so now the light hits me here, and I have shadows along my face here for a more mysterious or dark look. But also be aware that when you shoot light from this angle, is that it's going to make your subject look older, and if you're shooting any beauty or model videos, you don't really want that. You want those to be very well lit, and you do want to use your traditional 3-point lighting system. But when it comes to things like, do I need to know the Kelvin of this? It needs to be 5,000, it needs to be warm, it needs to be cool. I myself am a run and gun videographer, so I don't need to. But if you're in more of the professional realm where you shoot with reds and you really care about the cinematography, then yes, that's good to know. But for me, I am the run and gun. And when it comes to your natural lighting and your lighting kits, all you really need to know is a key light and fill light. And you don't need to worry fancy stuff about like hair lights, your back lights, your fill lights. And that's straight to the point, as basic as I can get when it comes to lighting and videos. And lighting does matter. You can have this basic Canon D5200 that I'm still using. It's shooting at 200 ISO. I can actually bump it down to probably even 100 ISO, make it a little more moody and crisp, apply some color grading on this, and you can tell that it's actually, you won't be able to tell that I'm actually shooting video on a Nikon because it's not that grainy because I have lighting. So yeah, I hope that clarifies when it comes to shooting your basic videos, when it comes to interviews. All you want to do is, let's say your subject is right here and you're asking them questions this way. So you want your light to be pretty much directly across from them. Versus if I was in an interview and I'm making them look this way, you want the light to be shining right into their eyes, and that's your basic lighting. You just make sure that their face is well lit and there's no shadows, and that's it. As long as your subject's lit for these professional corporate style videos, you're good to go. You don't really need to go super in depth. And my name's Peter. You're watching a Visionary Collective. I'm breaking rules. We are start with nothing, but you can always create something. And if you want more in depth and more of the technical aspects of how do I lighting, what kind of lenses I use, how do I do this, how do I edit, link in the description of my own secret exclusive video production guide for you to use, and how you can use that video and course that I made just for you, and you can turn that into a career. All condensed in what I've learned in 2 years in 30 minutes. Believe it or not, link is in the description. Check it out. See y'all in the next one.